Alrighty, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Thursday, January 25th. I usually play in the morning, playing a little later. Let's see if that affects my performance. Wine barrel trimmed to make instrument. I'm thinking it's going to be an instrument with 7 letters, starting with something for wine. Could that be red? Can't think of an instrument starting RED. And then barrel trimmed. Is that just barrel without its outer letters? I'm thinking, is there some form of a guitar that ends ARRE? Guitar. No, come back to that one. Daughters interrupted by expression of hesitation. I have produced. I think the definition is going to be produced. Daughter is D, so I'm thinking daughters interrupted is D and D, with all of the rest interrupting them. Expression of hesitation can be or and listening back to my recordings, I'm gobsmacked how often I go and I'll try not to do that. But what if it was, oh yeah, and then I have derived? Could that be produced? I think so. All right, monks heading for hell, largest first, 10, 5. Damnation Alley. It's monks. What are monks? Dominicans? Monks heading, of course, could be just M. But we begin with D if derived is correct. Let's try number 6. Left in charge over European Committee appointment. So I'm thinking it's going to be a word for appointment, or maybe committee appointment, like chairperson, treasurer. It'll have L for left inside a word for charge, which could be an electrical charge or it could be a legal charge. And that comes over European, so maybe over E or over EC, committee C. How is that usually abbreviated? CTEE? I don't think it'll be over that. Check, I leave after taking in conclusion of another Hitchcock film. So I think the answer is going to be Vertigo is a Hitchcock film. The another is confusing me. I leave is I go. After taking in. Oh, check is vet. And it takes in the conclusion of the word another, the R. Haha, okay. Well, that's good. It suggests derived is correct. Determined, a duke, which can be AD, should be born by galloping steed. I think steed is going to be anagrammed. Maybe it's going to be anagrammed around AD. So I'm thinking dead set is determined. Parents accommodate heading for Rome. Italian city. Ah, Parma. So it's Pa and Ma are the parents, and they accommodate the first letter of Rome. No, R and P. Uh, no, not too sure about that yet. Let's go over to the left. They criticize struggle to fill water containers beside river. I think it's going to be people who criticize. Reviewers comes to mind, and that is the right number of letters if I type it right. So I think beside river is that first R. Struggle. Struggle, I think, is Vi, and that fills ewers, the water containers. Okay, so happy with that. The crossing letters, well, 2 down looks helpful. Conceal part of innings in tournament, 5-2. Part of an innings, I would think, would be an over. To conceal would be to cover up, excuse me, and that's inside a cup or a tournament. Does that help the wine? Barrel. Is a sec a type of wine, dry? Or Malbec? No. How about cancel membership fee after receiving credit? I think it's going to be cancel as the definition. Could credit simply be C? And then a 4-letter word for a membership fee. Oh, what do you call it? You pay your, no, not thinking of that. Does that C look likely for an instrument? I don't think so. Runs, which can be R, after people gathering for a drink. Well, beer, but I don't see how BEE is people gathering. What other kind of drink could that be? Probably ending in ER. No, nothing is coming to me. All right, let's try. Ooh, this long one goes all the way down. Somehow pitches tent okay, securing height and length. Things become more complex. So I think that's the definition. It's a phrase meaning things become more complex. 3-4. Anagram of pitches tent okay, which is 13 letters. So we need another 2, H and L. I'm thinking the plot thickens. Just eyeballing it, that looks like the right letters. So now the wine barrel trimmed to make instrument. There is an old instrument called a sackbut. Don't ask me what type of instrument it was, but I think sack can be wine and a butt can be a barrel, but I think that's with 2 T's, and so it's trimmed. Well, then runs after people gathering could be beer. What else could it be? After people gathering. No, not seeing that. I'll come back at the end and fill it in and check if it is beer. Now this begins with S for cancel. Scrub. Could that be it? To cancel something? Oh, scrap. How about scrap? I don't see either of them making sense with the wordplay. Let's try chilled response about source of unusual accent. So I think maybe it's an accent like a grave or an acute, or maybe what do you call like an Irish accent, a brogue, or I think they often say, don't they, a burr, that maybe Scottish people speak with a burr, which does sound like burr. Yes, in fact, that's exactly what it is. So the source of unusual is the first letter of unusual, and BRR is what you say when you're cold. So then I think this must be scrub. Your sub, yes, is your subscription, is your membership fee, and then credit is CR. Okay, happy with that. Love, i.e., bums, that's 10 letters, heaving in these. Oh my goodness. So I don't like these and lit definitions for the anagrams because you really have to work out the word play to see how it fits. We had one yesterday with Serengeti. So that V is going to be interesting. Love, i.e., I presume it's going to be some sort of clothing. Elbow. I think the V is going to have to be in the second word. Yeah, I don't think the anagram helper is going to help me on this. Let's look at our monks heading for hell, which I didn't realize is also the entire length of the frame, or whatever you call it. Largest first. Desperate. Monks heading for hell. No, nothing is coming to me on that. Prepared to come round to fix instrument. Whenever I see round, or actually I think around would be more correct, I think there must be an O. Prepared to come round. So is it going to be an instrument, or is it going to be prepared? I think more likely, because it ends in T, it's going to be an instrument. Prepared, what's a short word? And maybe it isn't going to be an O, maybe just a word for prepared that goes around a short word for to fix. And it means an instrument. No, not getting it. Detective encountering nonsense about one US city. So I think it's going to be a US city. What's a short word for a detective? It could be a CI, a chief inspector. And then it means maybe, and then meets a word for nonsense backwards. I was thinking it might end in port, Newport. Let me pause and sip my coffee and think about that one. Oh, yeah, so as I was sipping my coffee, I realized where it says about one means there needs to be an I in this. And I thought, well, what if it ends in OIT? And then immediately got Detroit, DET for detective, rot for nonsense, and then one. So this is shaping up to be very interesting. Monks heading. Heading, of course, could be north, south, east, or west, or some variation, but it could also be some short word for monks, and then an ing word for heading, and then the final letters somehow mean hell. But then largest first is confusing me. All right, week one in US series is sentimental. So I think it's going to mean sentimental. I'm wondering if this US series could be MASH. In fact, it is. So a word for sentimental, mawkish. In MASH, we have WK for week, and again, we have I for one. Nothing, new, purchased, having missed opening. Nothing could be O, new could be N, and then a word for purchased. But then I'm wondering if maybe it's nothing is the definition. It begins with N for new. Yes. So purchased is bought, but it misses its opening letter, and so we get not. All right. Yeah, I am thinking this might be an ing. Oh, of course, largest first, descending order. And so the whole thing about monks heading for hell is just a punning description or interpretation of a descending order. There's really nothing that says they have to be going to hell. But that is a good one. And a good one to get. Hopefully some of these crossing letters will be useful. Yorkshire, produce an encouragement for Arab, 6-4. Well, an Arab could be a horse. I wonder if, yeah, what is it? Yorkshire, I can just think of Yorkshire relish. Oh, could it be relish something? An encouragement. What is an encouragement? A clap? No, not getting that. Little space to be engrossed in accommodating a venture. Yeah, I'm not sure where the definition is in that. I'm going to guess a little space. And the wordplay is to be engrossed in. A word for to be engrossed in which takes in a venture, which could be just like like a go, to go, could be to venture, or try to venture. A little space. No, I'm not getting it. List best type of desks 4-3. List could be to lean at an angle, or it could be to run down, to rank. Oh, rank. Rank best type of desks. Again, with a question mark, I think it's going to be some punning definition. No, not getting it. Dictionary is holding up returning name of complex. 12 chambers, but that's 8 letters, is holding up returning. So, I mean, both holding up and returning suggests something is going to be reversed. Name could be N, and complex could be difficult. I wonder if it could be, maybe complex is the definition. What's another short word for a dictionary? A to Z. I do wonder if it could be something like, well, devious, I think to me more suggests more somebody who is being devious. Could that though also mean in a non-judgmental way complex? No, I'm going to need more letters for that. All right, what ones did I skip over? Much favored bridge team where lawyers gather. A bridge team is going to be either EW or NS. Much favored could be A1, AI. I can't think of any other. I think it's going to have to be just 2 letters, because the bridge team will either be, I mean, I like the EW ending, crew. That's not where lawyers gather. Where do lawyers gather? As opposed to ending in NS. All right, let's look at this one. Second year completed. Sweet. Well, second could be S, which then would support NS. I presume it's going to be the name of a sweet, which could be what the Americans call candy, or it could be a dessert. Year completed. Oh, I think year is actually YR, and completed is up, like the year is up, and so syrup. So that does suggest this is going to be NS, where lawyers gather. I want to say dens, but I don't think it's that. Let me pause again, sip my coffee, and run through the alphabet. Of course, it is INS. I don't know what the derivation of that is, but I know in Dublin as well as in London, There's King's Inn, something to do with the law where lawyers would gather, I suppose. And IN means in favor. All right, display hospital article on inflammatory disease. I presume it's display and hang something comes to mind. Ah, yes, a hospital is H. AN is the article on an inflammatory disease. 4 letters beginning with G, I presume. Of course, the article could just be the A, and maybe it's a 5-letter inflammatory disease, but no, then it would be NG, so I think it has to be hang, display, hang. Let me pause and think about that one. Of course, it's gout. Reminds me of the old joke of the sailor in a train carriage reading a newspaper, and he looks up and there's a very pompous vicar in the carriage, and he asks, "Excuse me, vicar, what's gout?" And the vicar draws himself up and says that gout is a disease that affects the dissolute who have lived lives of venal sin and debauchery. Why do you ask, my son? Oh, because it says here the Bishop of Canterbury has it. I was probably about 10 years old when I heard that joke. All right, so that's a good one to get. Ooh, 25 looks like endeavor, which is a venture. Also, the first name of Morse, Inspector Morse, who came up in the crossword the other day. Let's see if we can work it out. Little space, to be engrossed. I think maybe to be engrossed is devour, which accommodates A. But then what's EN? How is that little space? Yeah, I may be completely missing the point of this one. A little space. No, not getting it. All right, 27 now. There is a type of desk called a roll top, and taking roll at school, going through the list, and the best is the top. Now, 23, college had reduced students. I presume it's going to be a name of a college. Had reduced students. No matter how often I say it, it's not coming to me. No, I may have to come back to that one. All right, we haven't looked at this one either. Leather companies taking different directions after excess trimmed. I think it's going to be type of leather, maybe. There is something coming to mind beginning with M. Companies could be COS, which takes maybe ENS or W inside it. But where's the after excess trimmed? I wonder if that could be more. More could be excess, and then that is shortened. Maybe it's just MOR. Yeah, I'm trying to think of that type of leather, Moroccan, more. So I think it would be something. I think actually the XS is going to have to just be two letters, and then C O, and then our two directions, and then we have the S for companies, but nothing is coming to me. Could our Yorkshire produce or produce an encouragement for Arab? No, so it's not a C there, it's an R. Yorkshire has the North and South Riding, and the produce is a crop, and so a riding crop could be seen as an encouragement for a horse. Hmm. Oh, I think rather than being COS for companies, I think it's CO twice, but they go in different directions. So is Morocco type of leather? Since we're past the 30-minute mark, I'm going to go ahead and check this one. It is correct. All right, Welsh. Can that simply be W? Papers. Stop, including English. Spread. So I presume the definition is spread. Now, is that something you put on your toast, or is it the verb to spread? Or, of course, could also be your estate, could be your spread, could also be your stomach, I suppose. But I think there's going to be an E for English in there. What are the papers? Welsh papers. And then a word for stop. No, not coming to me. How about a short story identifying detective in brief? So we have another detective. Short story. Of course, I want to put short and story together. Identifying detective. I don't think we're going to have DET again, but maybe now we'll have the DI or CI in brief. Has that something to do with underwear? No. Ooh, now our. So a name of a complex beginning with O and ending in S, Oedipus. So is, so IS is holding up, returning. Oh, in the dictionary is the OED. Oh, of course, I should have thought of that one. Well, that's great that they're able to refer to the Oxford English Dictionary. Welsh papers stop. Oh, spread must be the past tense, I'm thinking. I can just think of waddled, but I don't think that's right. But I do think of, well, maybe it is. Let me put in waddled, although neither the definition nor the wordplay support it. Let's go ahead and check that. No, it's not right, but I'm right about the ED. All right. Let me check, see what else I haven't looked at. I don't think I've looked at this one. Source of drugs, I note, given to male politician. So maybe it is a source of drugs, but of course, source of drugs could also be D, and then I, and then note could be any of the letters A through G, given to male, which could be chap. And so maybe it is a definition, but not necessarily a male one. Trying to think of a name that would fit. Marion. No, nothing is coming to me there. Prepared to come round to fix instrument. Let me pause and think about this. I think it has to either start with a vowel or an S. Yeah, so actually I started by thinking either the P is part of the word that means prepared, and I couldn't see that, or it's the beginning of the word that means to fix, and I thought of pin, and then I thought of to set. If you're set on something, you're prepared, or if you're set, you're prepared. So spinet, I think it was a keyboard instrument. Now, source of drugs, I note, given to male politician. Indian fits. Indian something. No, not getting that. Oh, how about the one that the anagram I put off trying to solve? So let me pause and do that on paper. So I worked out that the first word could be blue, and I thought it was going to be blue jeans, but it's actually blue movies. So there we go. That's a good definition. All right, now left in charge over European Committee appointment. I think it has to be some kind of appointment. Let me pause and think about that one. No, I'm not getting that at all. I do think there's going to be an L in it, so and what is this ending going to be with you something? Is it going to be a Latin word like IUM at the end? No, I'm not sure I'm going to give up on this, so let's see what the answer is. Rapporteur. Yeah, you do hear in news about the European Union that somebody has been appointed as a rapporteur. But now, left is port. Over European is EUR. I think, or maybe just EU. And it's in a charge. Is a rap a charge, a rap sheet? Yeah, so I presume that's, I'm not exactly sure what a rapporteur is. I'm going to have to look that up later, but yeah, I'm not too disappointed in not getting that. I'm not going to say they should only have English words in a crossword, but at the same time, that seems a bit obscure. Anyway, let me try beer for this one and see if it's right, and then we'll see why it might be right. It is right. Runs after people gathering. So obviously the definition is a drink. No, not getting. The only thing is maybe, as in a spelling bee or what else do they have? A quilting bee. So is bee, I never really stopped to think what bee might mean in that sense, but does it just mean a gathering? Hmm, that's interesting. All right, let's try source of drugs. I note. I'm going to give another pause here and see if I have one last chance to get this. No, nothing is coming to me, so let's go ahead and reveal it. Ah, it was Indian hemp. Okay, let's see. So that's the source of drugs, I suppose. And then I note given to male, I think is just he and politician MP. I'm not getting the I note given, how that is Indian. No, not don't fully understand that. I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm sure it is fair, but it just seems a little beyond me and my abilities. All right, how about our Welsh papers? Stop including English spread. So it's a past tense of a verb. Wedgied. No, not getting that. Let's take a look. Widened. Ah. So yes, your papers is your ID. And then stop is end, and it includes E for English, and widened is spread. Yeah, that's fair. Now our short story, Identifying Detective in Brief. Um, I know there is, so this is another non-English word. Cont is a story, an account. Let's check that. It does seem to be right. Short story, Identifying Detective in Brief. No, I don't see that one. Boy, I'm having trouble explaining quite a few today. And finally, college had reduced students. So maybe as a word for students that is shortened, and it's a specific, I presume it's a specific college. I wonder if it's one of the Oxbridge colleges, Balliol. No, I'm going to go ahead and reveal that one. Oh, a whole, so it's a generic college. Had is reduced. HA. I mean, I did notice that the wording was odd, but I didn't think it through that the reason had is there is so it can be reduced, and then the learners are the students, and there's two of them because it's plural. Yeah, that's another one I think I could have got, but there were a couple at least that no, there's no way I'm getting those. All right, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.